Good evening. This is the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission on April 17, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable's Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission, ordinance under Chapter 112, Article 3 of the Code of the Town of Barnstable, you are hereby notified that a hearing is being held at Town Hall 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass. Selectmen's Conference Room, Room 2, second floor, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. The meeting will be televised live via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. It may also be accessed via the Government Access Channel live stream on the Town of Barnstable's website, HTTP streaming85.townofbarnstable.us/cablecast public service /watch/1 ? Calling the meeting to order. Commissioner Matthews.
Here.
Commissioner Hinckley Needham, unable to attend. Commissioner Matthew Clark.
Here.
Commissioner Laura Cronin.
Here.
Commissioner Tom Doherty.
Here.
Commissioner Jack Kay.
Here.
And I am also here, Cheryl Powell. We also have two town councilors here tonight, a previous town council liaison to this commission, Town Councilor Chris Clark, and our new and valuable also, Town Councilor Charlie Bloom. Thank you and welcome. So, moving right on, nothing on trainings, awards. There is correspondence, but it pertains to the only item on the agenda tonight, and I will read that when we see it, when we hear it, because it is a continuation. They have requested another continuation. I will read the letter from Attorney David Lawler. Jim, this email is to confirm our conversation. My client is seeking to postpone the meeting schedule for this evening. The reason for this appointment is that I understand that one of the members who attended the last meeting is unable to attend tonight. The consensus is that the best interest of my client to have the matter heard before all who attended the last meeting. My understanding this matter can be moved to the next meeting, which is scheduled at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, May 1st, 2024. I apologize if this inconveniences the other members. Please acknowledge receipt of this email. Thank you, David Lawler. As I said, the other correspondence pertaining to this I'll leave to the next meeting when the applicants are here. And actually, we have two staff members, if you wouldn't mind identifying yourself.
Karen Pina, Admin Assistant, Planning and Development.
And Jim Kupfer, Assistant Director, Planning and Development.
And Jim, did you want to elaborate on this?
Sure. If there's any questions, happy to answer them. So I received notice from another member today that he was unable to attend this evening. So as we know, this is a 7-member board. We're down to multiple members, unfortunately, have been absent, leaving just 5 members available to vote. With this individual then being absent, it would have been the minimum threshold still eligible. So once I received, again, the absence, though we do it for each and every one of the applicants, if there is any kind of quorum concern, we notified Attorney Lawler that there would be 4 voting members if he so chose to proceed. He consulted his client and provided that email. So they've requested a continuation due to the fact that there are a limited number of voters still eligible on this application.
Okay, thank you.
How often can they do this?
It's completely up to the commission, though I will say, I mean, it's also up to the commission to attend the meeting. So it's up to the commission to decide whether or not to vote in favor of a continuation.
Why are they told how many commissioners are going to be here?
I do that as a courtesy. I don't have to. We can make it a guessing game if you so choose, but I do it for each and every applicant.
If sometimes it's us requesting a continuation or insisting on one, other times it is the applicant that needs a continuation for one thing or another. There may be other issues here of which we're not aware of, but we have never denied one so far that I am aware. I've been on here for almost 8 years. I think if it were, I think one of them we had. About 7 years ago, we had like 4 or 5 continuations. The rules are you have to go, you can keep continuing within the 45 days. Then we can allow an extension if they need to go further. It's not unusual for them to have to go further. But I think if there was any question of whether or not, it would, we could say no more continuations after this. We asked for the last one, so I would have thought it would be only a courtesy to allow the one that they're asking for, because we were the ones who said, we would like to continue it.
So just a clarification, for the next time it comes up, there'll be 5 of commissioners who can vote on the,
Well,
on this,
at the
correct?
moment, 5 are eligible.
Correct.
Depending on who's in attendance at the
correct,
next meeting.
correct,
Yes.
okay.
What happens if it's denied? Do they have
continue.
to come back and just start all over?
Well, you would have to render a decision if you're not going to continue the matter.
We'd have to
And
render a
we would still
decision.
have questions. You started to say something, Jim, and I
Well, no, I'm just saying, I just wanted to offer that. I mean, I take guidance from this commission and the chair. So if the direction is not to, provide the applicant with information regarding the commission, I'm happy to do so. I've always provided customer service in the fact that this is what's going to be outlined this evening. Please, especially in the
Understand.
alternative too, if there's any information that the commission needs, we state, we ask for that.
Personally, I have, since we did ask for the last delay and, push it off into this meeting, I have no problem extending them the courtesy of moving, having them move it along to the next meeting when they can have the 5 available commissioners to vote. I don't have a problem with that.
It doesn't mean that there would be any different. Just to clarify for people, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, and you don't mind if I say that I got a call from Commissioner Kay on the evening asking, he said, I've watched the meeting. I'm really impressed that you watched this meeting all the way from California. But
Must have been a rainy day.
Probably was, but asking if you could Mullen in, and I think he contacted you for the Mullen form, did he not? Yeah. Yes, I said contact Karen to Mullen in, and then you did Mullen in. The rules are, and we went over it last time, to Mullen in, you can only have one Mullen in. That's just the rules. It's not a town rule, it's a wider rule than that. So, and I know, Tom, you very kindly offered to Mullen in as well, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, and I abide by rules, okay, but I didn't know the rules. And I talked to you and Karen, in the 2 weeks before the meeting on the 20th, saying I was not going to be here.
Yeah.
And people just said I have to do the Mullen report. No one told, and I talked to Karen, she sent it to me. I was on vacation, I sent it back. And no one told me it was like whoever got in first was the one that got the Mullen report, So the rules should have just been explained to me a little
Yeah.
more. I would have gone out of my way to get it here, the same day.
Yeah, and at the time that you said that you could not make it, I mean, we thought we would be deciding that night, and you weren't able to make it, so it ended up being continued. So and I think I got called out the first time I Mullen. There were 2 people that Mullened in on the BHC. And I say, oh, okay, now I've learned it. I think I would like to give every member here a copy of the Mullen form. Can we get that to them?
Well, we also have a handbook for boards, committees, and commissions that maybe it's time to refresh and get
Yeah.
out to all the different
Yeah.
boards, committees, and commissions. I can certainly talk with Cindy and others about
Thank you.
doing that.
And I think that handbook is actually on our website. Most of the commissions and committees do have that handbook on the site.
It seems to be very counterproductive to only allow one Mullen.
I agree with you, but that's the rule.
But why?
I think, isn't that open meeting law?
Well, no, it's our local general ordinance.
it's our local general.
So we could certainly, it's something that
Ask
the
for
town council
change.
would have to discuss.
Yeah. They like me constantly asking for changes in our ordinances and guidelines.
I do agree with Jack, though. I do. If you're on a committee and something, God forbid, happens and you get taken away, I think there should be an absolute chance for you to be able to come back, get back involved, and vote. So, I mean, I think
I
that is
agree.
the right idea.
I agree with you. So maybe what we could do is ask if there's a way that we can review it or have it addressed. What would be the procedure here? I think
Well, we
contact
do have 2
Cynthia.
town councilors here, but I'm happy
Oh, yeah.
to bring it up to leadership for discussion in the future, and absolutely.
And please don't regret coming tonight.
I just think that makes sense.
I mean, especially in this day and age of everything is online, and I could see limiting the number. I mean, you have to be in person at the end to vote, and maybe only having, the quorum of the number, because these committees are running shy of members, and it is hard to continue to keep
I
it.
agree.
So it might be something that we could update based on, the way things are today. It's a lot more availability of
So
online.
maybe see if we could write a letter to the town council, or should I just go to public comment at the next town council meeting and make myself popular?
I'm happy to ask the question to leadership and
Okay.
discuss that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So we'll check out the proper procedure for that.
Doesn't help us right here, but it does.
No, I
Continue anyway.
think at
Right.
this stage we do have to, rules change, but we can't. We have the rules that we have now, so we kind of have to stick to them. And I do apologize to you, Tom. I know you're very dedicated.
It should have been explained.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know it either.
No, I know it did. I was just going by what I was told, and I misunderstood or
Yeah.
didn't quite
I understand.
get it.
Okay, so we'll find out what the proper procedure is on that. So we've got that. So what are we're back, so let's make a motion that we continue the Sawyer Realty Holdings LLC, 473 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 084. This is for both the demolition and the renovations and new structure. I'm linking the two of those together if nobody has an objection. I will pose that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Matthews.
Aye.
You voted, thank you. Commissioner,
Can I vote on?
actually, that's a good question. Yes, you can vote for the continuance,
yeah,
but
just
not for,
How can
it's
you
not,
vote for a continuance and not be able to vote for
because it's a procedure, it's just the procedural thing. I think that's true. Everybody votes on this, is that correct?
So I would, you can go ahead and vote on all of it. We need at least 3 and for it to pass for a continuation, that's all.
But I don't. But I don't know if I can. Why? How can I vote to continue it if I can't vote?
You
On
wouldn't
the
be able to
project.
vote on the matter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but all of us as commissioners can participate in the debate coming up when
That's
the,
correct.
when
Oh,
the
yes.
issue comes about. So
Okay.
with that being the
You
case,
can also abstain if you haven't, read into the matter or anything like that.
with that being the
We
case,
all-
and this being a procedural vote and not actually voting on the actual project, I think you should be able to.
Okay.
I
I just
would
want to
say-
be sure
I would
not
say
have
this
it
is
kicked out.
I feel this is procedural.
We have an
and-
interesting situation here.
We do,
They're not here.
Yes.
And they're not coming. So
You-
if we all said no, we want to continue, what happens? You're in a.
then we say no. I will say that the, one right, oh yes, at the meeting on May 1st, or whenever this is heard, every commissioner here has a say, even alternates. They have a say on talking about it, it's just the vote.
I get that. I understand that. But the vote's the most important thing.
I understand.
And when questions come up in my mind when an application, asks for contingency when they find out one member isn't here. Kind of doesn't sit right with me.
And I can understand your feeling. We're merely following the rules. If the rules need to be addressed, I get that. But we can't change them at this meeting.
Well, right now, too, if we did it, it'd be 4 people. You could come out of here with a 2 and 2 and nothing happens. Again, I don't mind the continuance. It's fine. It'll give us a 3-2 vote or a 4-1 or whatever. We'll have a majority
Well,
one way or the other.
yeah.
And I just don't think we want to look like inhospitable. You know what? Fine. You want to, I understand you'd like an extra counselor there or a committee person there. I have no issue with that.
We asked for the first, was it 1 or 2?
Yeah, we asked for the first continuance.
Yeah. So they're just
I
asking
don't
for,
think it's tit for tat,
No, it's courtesy.
It's, I question why they asked for the contingency, okay? We had a reason when we asked for a contingency. I question theirs. That's my opinion, not
Sure.
anybody else's
Okay.
opinion.
Yeah.
So we have a motion on the table. We have a second on the table. I will vote yes that we continue. Commissioner Kay?
What date?
Oh, still May 1st, I'm sorry, thank you. That's the next meeting, and that's what they've requested. Commissioner Kay, yea or nay?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Cronin?
Yes.
Commissioner Matthews?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Clark?
Abstain.
Okay, so we do have 4, and we have 1 abstention, and we have 1 no. And I thoroughly respect your views, I really do, but we have to play by the rules. But I think we will address that matter and see what can be done. And when you sent the message saying that you would not be able to attend, I had no idea that it was going to not be voted on that night. So, and that would have been with Commissioner Crowley also there. So,
I said I wasn't going to be here. It was the March 15th. It was the meeting before the 20th, before they were here. And because I knew I was going to be away.
Yeah.
And that's when I talked to you and
Yeah.
Karen. And I just thought
I thought we'd have quorum. So, but we often don't know if we're going to have
it was
quorum until the
it was a
day.
misunderstanding.
Yes. I respect your views. So that has been continued. We can notify the applicant. There is no new business. The only matter is not reasonably anticipated by the chair is the design. Any luck on that?
Working on it, a few individuals want to volunteer, working with the planning board to try and get a few members as well. And then I was going to reach back out to you to see if we can get a good
Yeah.
group here to move it right along.
I thought we were going to also go around town again or something like that.
If you like, yeah.
Yeah. Do people want to go around town or working with the planning board again?
I just did the walk around town, so I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
good.
So, and I'm happy to help as well because I have all the records from the first one. No new business, so that's the only matters not anticipated by the chair. There's no minutes for tonight. So the next one is May 1st, and then the one after that is May 15th. Can I have a motion for an adjournment, please?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Matthews?
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
And Commissioner Kay?
All right.